Hi friends, welcome to virtual indoor cycling. Jump on. I have an hour ride for you, 55 minutes. You, me, and Rob Thomas. One of my favorite old bands. And we're just gonna start out easy right here. Just let your legs pedal easy, and you can go anywhere from 80 up to 95 RPMs. If you're riding with me on a Schwinn Z-bike, let's start out in reduced mode. If you're connected to a wearable, an Apple Watch or a Fitbit, you can look at your heart rate, and it should be in the low range right now. Our warm-up is about 4 minutes long, so just whatever feels easy to your legs, easy to your breath. Transition from our busy day onto our bikes. Let your sitting bones come on the back of the saddle. And you want to feel like you're more on the front of your sitting bones. So I've got 3 stages for you today. The first stage is longer. The last stage is shorter, considerably shorter. So we'll be working our way through the breathless intervals. We'll start moderate, then go up to hard, and we'll peak out with some breathless intervals. And then we'll recover. We'll do that twice. Our third stage, we're gonna try to get some trophies. All right? So right now, the whole intention is just getting your body warm, loosened up, ready. Mentally, physically, all in. Wiggle your toes inside of your shoes, shake out your hands. Take some deep breaths. During this ride today, we're gonna write a story. It's this idea that your life is your story. And every day, you're adding a page. So where are you right now in the story of your life? Are you at the beginning of a new chapter? Are you kind of in the middle of one of those long chapters that seems like it will never end? Where are you in the book? All right, let's go ahead and set the stage timer just so we can watch the time. We're gonna slow the legs. And I'm gonna come to 60, about 60 RPMs. Breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. We'll start to use the mouth for breath. Shoulders relaxed, neck relaxed. Settle in. This should start to feel like a hill, but it's not a hard hill. You might notice your heart rate coming up a little. We're in the exercise zone now. The fit zone. Sit tall, hug in tight. gonna reach forward and just walk it out. This should not feel hard. It's actually the point when my body and my mind start to get kind of excited about this workout. Kind of glad I'm here. Usually takes 1 or 2 songs for me to go, okay, let's do this. Challenge yourself to keep that hip crease even when you're standing. Sitting bones just lightly touching the saddle every pedal stroke. Stay loose, breathe deep. So you can set your own pace, 60, 65, 70, what feels comfortable, fun, playful. What puts a smile on your face, because you know you're here doing good things. Hips are back. You've got that hip crease. Deep breath in, long breath out. As you're standing, notice if any of your joints feel stressed. Do your wrists or elbows or shoulders feel any stress? How about hips? SI joint, low back, knees, ankles. We don't want any stress in our joints. We want to feel this in our muscles. Good job, you guys. Strong riders. Core stays strong. Tailbone points back. Ease your hips to the saddle. Keep your resistance right where it is. Slow legs. Grab a drink. Let's get ready to climb. Whew. That tasted good. And yes, it's just water. Whew. Okay. Boy, summer, it's warm. It's warm, baby. We're gonna add resistance to the wheel, just a little, because we're also speeding up our legs. We're in the saddle for 4 minutes, and I'd like this to be hard effort. So close to 80, pushing hard effort for 4 minutes. This will take us right up into some breathless intervals, and then we get a nice long recovery. So we're earning our recovery. We'll do some climbing, some sprinting, and then we get a good long flat road. Okay? Okay. This first stage will take up just about half of our class. That's how long the first stage is. The good news is the second and third stages will go fast after this. So your life is your story. Close your eyes. What's the first line of the story? Where did it start? What was the date that you showed up on this big blue and green ball? Who brought you here? What were the circumstances on that day? How it started. And that journey from there to this bike, how many pages? If every year were a chapter, and every chapter was 365 pages, that's a big book, isn't it? For some of us, it's bigger than others. A thick book over here. What stories have you been told about the first chapter of your book? Did you have siblings that welcomed you here, or were you the first? I was the first in my tribe. I got to move into that womb first, make room for others to come after me, which is why I'm so bossy, which makes me a good teacher, huh? I say what to do and you do it, and then we get along great. Take deeper breaths. You're climbing. This is hard effort right here. Follow the foot right on the pedals, really strong on those pedal strokes. Deep breaths. You might try lifting your toenails, pressing those into the top of your shoes, so the ball of your foot really has this forward action on the pedals. Just like that. All right, are you ready? I want you to pedal fast, up close to 100 RPMs. When I say go, for 15 seconds, we add resistance, we stand, and we run. Just 15 seconds. We've got 2 intervals in this song, a 15 and a 20, that's it. Get ready, a little bit of resistance. Let's go. The goal is breathless. Come on. Come on down. Try to keep fast legs, 80 to 100 RPMs. We're gonna do that again. It comes up fast. 20 seconds this time. Add resistance. Let's go. It's a struggle. Go all the way to the top. Looks good. Have a seat. Ooh. Stop. Keep your fast legs. Woo. Just gonna keep those fast legs going. So right at the threshold, challenge yourself to stay here. Recovery comes next. Get as close to 100 as you can. Get aggressive on those pedals. Challenging. Woo. There you go. Come on, come on. Yeah. Breathe deep. Push the edge. Recovery is coming. Woo. Almost there. Hold your edge. Almost there. Release resistance, take it down easy. Pedal easy, grab some water. Whew. All right, kids, you get to choose your cadence, anywhere from 60 to 100. As long as it feels easy. We're on a nice long flat road. This is endurance work, all right? So endurance just means we're trying to stay the course. We're not pushing hard. We're not super easy. It's active recovery. Let's call it just comfortably uncomfortable. Try this on. Close your eyes and just pedal with no instruction, no beats. Find your own sweet spot. Everyone has kind of a set point of cadence that feels just perfect. And then if you do have measurement and you look at the screen, you'll know what your sweet spot is. So mine is about 85, 90 with light resistance. That's what my legs default to. This feels good. Everyone is different. They're all in that range. I'd say everyone finds a range in the 80 to 90 as a sweet spot. So just kind of check it out. Take deeper breaths. Inhale, fill all the way up. Exhale, blow all the way out. Deep breath in, long breaths out. So what do you know about your chapter 2, chapter 3, chapter 4? Probably stories you've been told, photographs you have. And then you're getting to the chapter of your earliest memories, old enough to have memory, 4 or 5. What do you remember of those early years? What things stand out as you tell your story? Do you remember where you lived? Did you have pets, siblings, friends? Do you remember the house, the bedroom, starting school? What are the earliest memories? Relatives? Find your sweet spots. Stay right there. Endurance, steady, even, maybe even a little boring. That's what endurance is. It's kind of monotonous. It teaches us to stay the course, to not need a lot of stimulation in all directions, but just stay the course. And then what are your memories about grade school? You remember those first few years? Teachers, building, friends, bullies. We all have those stories, yeah? I lived in 9 houses by the time I was in the 3rd grade. Moved a lot when I was a kid. So I was always making new friends, figuring things out, being the new kid. What's your story? How did it start? Put a little bit of resistance on. Reach forward and just stand and walk easy. Just walk it out just enough to relax your hips. Come a little more upright. Shift your weight over the pedals. Engage your core. Relax your shoulders and just walk it out. Almost like a little bouncy jog. You can look around your screen at heart rate, at power if you see that. It shouldn't be too high, but it's on there. You got something going on. Change your hand position. Shake out your arms. Take some deep breaths. Have a seat. Shake it out. Take a little bit of resistance off. Focus on bringing your legs up to you, lifting here at the hip flexors, quads coming up to tap your hands. Feeling that top of the pedal stroke, 12 o'clock. And noticing your breath. Come back to the handlebars. Continue on this flat road, but find just enough resistance that your pedal stroke gets more interesting. It's more like a circle, and you really feel the front of that circle. Lift your toes, push with the ball of your foot, and feel the circle. Relax your toes, but keep feeling that. If the side of your pedal had a Sharpie on it, you'd be drawing a perfect circle on the wall next to you. Maybe that'll help you find that round pedal stroke. How's your breath? In through the nose, out through the mouth. Add a little bit more. We move up, junior high. What are those chapters? I want to rip those out of the book, don't we? Our formative years. Oh, awkward years, growing years. What happened in those, on those pages, 7th, 8th, 9th grades? What do you remember? What are the highlights and the lowlights? And how about high school? Things get better, things get worse, stay the same. Are you just ready to be done? Do you love it? I might be the only person I know who cried on my first day of school. Senior in high school, it's my last first day. True story. I loved school, mostly because I was getting away from my life, but I loved school. And so I continued college. Eventually, years later, graduate school, and I'm still a student. Still learning. I hope to always be a student. All right, we have made it through stage 1. I want you to add some resistance to your wheel. This is a shorter stage. We'll go from moderate to hard to breathless with a shorter recovery. When you're ready, gear up, stand up for your rights. So I believe that we spend the first 20 years of our lives trying on a lot of different hats, trying to figure out who we are. Spend a lot of time worried about what other people think, pleasing people, seeking approval, fitting in. So I'm going to assume that most of the people writing with me today have gone through the 20s. So let's look at those chapters. '20s for me were more trying on, reinventing, college, jobs, different relationships, still trying to figure out who I was. Yeah, different hats. I graduated from college at 23 and started working in the fitness industry. When I was 26, I opened a business, a gym. Anatomy Academy. Some of you know it. Sweet spot, moderate intensity. Come back to the saddle. Shift your hips way back. want you to notice what it feels like to be at moderate intensity, because very soon we're going to change that to hard effort. Now, last time we did that by speeding up our legs. This time we're going to do it by slowing down our legs. We are well past the halfway mark. Strong gear on the wheel. I want you to slow way down, way down. The slowest cadence is about 55 RPMs. And we're gonna stay right here for 3 minutes and really push those legs. It feels like lunges in the weight room. That's that heavy. Wiggle your toes, stay loose. You might use a hand to feel your legs as they're contracting, pushing that pedal in its circle. Hard effort. Notice the difference. It's helpful to push your hips back a half an inch or more, so you're way on the back of that saddle. Don't go off the back, just go to the back. And push. Push forward. Feel that hard, challenging effort. You're breathing so deeply. Feel your strength. Feel your efforts. So during your 20s, different hats, right? I have a philosophy that no one should get married until they're 30 years old, because I really feel like 30 is where I started being a little more capable of being a we, a little less me, a little more we. That's probably just my experience, but 20s, man. I wouldn't want to be married to me when I was in my 20s. Marriage works better when two full people get together. At least for me in my 20s, I wasn't full yet. I still had to do some therapy and figure it out, you know, make my mistakes. So you're 30 or over. How are those chapters? What are the highlights, the lowlights? All right, you guys, we are heading straight into our breathless intervals. We've got 2 in this coming song. So we're gonna lighten resistance and speed up our legs. We're gonna find about 80 RPMs. We've got a 20-second interval and then a 60. I'll ask you to put resistance on the wheel and stand for as much of these as you possibly can, all right? Let's do it. Oh, here we go. A little resistance coming on. Little more resistance. Let's go. 20 seconds. See if you can go a little faster. There you go. Have a seat. All right, if you have a Schwinn Z bike, do me a favor and roll over into RPM zone, RPM mode. And if you are in the RPM mode, you should be seeing yellow lights. If I can give you some yellow lights. Here we go, come on up. So, we're gonna try to stay here for 1 minute. What do you say? Can you hang on with me for 1 minute? All right, I can't get you light, so you're gonna have to trust me that I'm staying at 80 RPMs. Got 30 seconds. This is our longest and last interval. Have a seat. Try to keep your 80 RPMs, please. How'd we do, friends? Breathless intervals. All right. We have all the breathless work behind us. Your life is your story. Ooh. All right, go ahead and come to easy. We take a nice little recovery loop. And then we got one more push up into that hard zone and we're done. You can choose your cadence. Grab some water. Make sure this just feels doable to you. I think these guys came along at a point in my life where they just, for whatever reason, Matchbox 20 just spoke to me. You know, you have that band in your life that they came along at a time and it just speaks to your soul. I hope sometimes you just put on music, even if it doesn't work to the beat, and just listen to that music that speaks to your soul. So 30s for me were marriage years and baby years. I got married at 32. I had my first baby at almost 35. Had a miscarriage at 37. Had another baby at 38. And my baby I had at 41. So those years were a blur. My husband and I were business owners, raising babies, was teaching a lot of fitness. Sometime in that era, I started teaching yoga. I was teaching cycling, step, resistance classes. I was being a personal trainer, all that fun stuff. Somewhere in that decade, I went back and got a master's degree. Kind of a lazy person. And then 40s. Woo! We like to call those the FU 40s because we stop caring so much about what other people think, right? Your body changes, life changes. So in the 40s, we eventually sold our business. I started teaching for 24-hour fitness. And I became a trainer. I started traveling around the world, teaching teachers, because now I'd been doing it for a while. So 40s were a fun decade for me. A lot of challenge with little ones, but also just a really fun life. All right, my friends, can you stay with me for 2 more songs? The answer is yes, isn't it? All right, I'm going to FTP mode. I'd like you to find first 90 RPMs. I'd like you to go just this first 3 minutes. Doable. Challenging, but doable. Now we have this little thing on this window called trophies. And I'm gonna give you a few minutes here to kind of like get your bearings, kind of get in the game. But our last song, it's 4 minutes long. And I'm gonna invite you, if you have this console, to get a new trophy. Now, right now, my 20-minute trophy is flashing, which means if I work a little bit harder right now, my 20-minute average will increase. I just have to keep my watts, my power, higher than what that number already says. So if you've got this console, you're watching your trophies. If not, you're starting to think about how hard can you work for 4 minutes, and inside of those 4 minutes, 1 minute, the absolute hardest. You get to decide, is that the first minute all out, and then 3 minutes holding on to hard effort? Is it save up, save up, save up, the last minute of the class is your all out? Or does it happen right in the middle of your 4 minutes? You get to decide. Check with your breath. Bring a lot of oxygen into your body. I always get excited when it's the last song. There's always a little second wind in the room, yeah? Find that. I'm gonna take a little jog, because I am most powerful in the saddle. So I'm gonna stay in the saddle for these 4 minutes. You certainly have a choice to stand or sit. Here we go. Slow your legs, add your resistance. Give me 60 RPMs with powerful legs. 60 RPMs, powerful legs. You are on your own. 4 minutes. One of those minutes is a lot harder. I'm going to leave you alone to do this. That's the 2-minute mark. Have you done your 1-minute push yet? All right, just so you know, I'm going for my minute right now. Whew. I gotta take a picture of that. That is freaking awesome. Down here where there's no glare. Yeah, that's what you do when you get a personal best. Woo. Slow your resistance. Lower your resistance, find your words, slow your legs. Breathe in, breathe out. Just let the pedals pull at your feet. There's no more effort. Imagine that you're on a motorized bike and those pedals are turning. They're pulling your legs with them. No effort, just movement. If you're with me in the 50s, the fabulous 50s, 50s have been my best decades so far. So many incredible people in my life, so many students that I just adore. I feel so gifted and blessed to have the amazing students in my life. Go ahead and sit up tall. Boys are grown. I have 3 man boys in my life that just hug hard and love big. I have an incredible husband that works so hard on our house and our yard and our business, and he cooks all the meals. Got a beautiful chocolate lab named Bella, pretty little white kitty. I'm a breast cancer survivor, and I do what I love every day. I just can't imagine a more lucky person, I guess. I'm just blessed. So I love the 50s. If you're not there yet, hang on because it's a fun time. Lift up, reach back, cactus your arms. Those of you that are in your 60s, tell us about it. What do we have to look forward to? I can't wait. I've already declared I'm putting a swimming pool in my backyard for my 60th birthday. And as many days of the year as I can be in or by my pool, I will. And I hope you can be there with me too. Shake out your arms. Go ahead and come up to your feet. Press the calves, press the heels down. Let your hips stretch forward. So get hip flexors and calves at the same time. Stretch back through your hamstrings. What about 70s? Who out there is in their 70s? Like my friend Jim, who is like an avid mountain biker in his 70s. And switch. Calves, hips forward. My friend Nancy, that's thriving in her 70s, teaching yoga to seniors. Loving life, traveling. Bring it back. And what about my friends in their 80s? Tell us. The joy of just looking back on all those pages. And God willing, 90s. I've said since I was 13 years old, I'm going to live to be 113. So wish me luck on that one. Go ahead and unclip. Take a step off the side of your bike. Pick one of your legs out and across. Out and across. Just loosen up there through the inner and outer. And then switch. Out and across. It's kind of like a little pendulum, loosening, swinging. And then put a bend in your knees, hands on your hips, lift your chest forward. Deep breath in, and as you exhale, hands come together. Give yourselves a hand. Thanks so much for riding with me again today. I hope you enjoyed just looking back over the story of your life. If you haven't written that yet, man, get started. You have a story to tell. I'll see you next time.